So I've put up 2 trees. One is a smaller one, and that's going to revert to my one of my children. So basically it's their tree. It's one of my children's trees. And then the big tree, I put it in the living room because I like that flair. I like the lights and things like that. However, you get these certain trees, and these certain trees have little, I think I have it here. They have these, I'm going to have to turn you if I can. So these little things here. And the wiring is very thin. I can't pull it away from the tree. So the wiring's very thin. And it has a tendency to pull out. It pulls out of the little contraption that it's in. And so that stops the lights from working. And so the lights have been flickering. And so what I have to do, you're not going to believe this. So the tree is all decorated. And I've been plugging it in and enjoying the lights in the evenings with, sometimes a tea and sometimes a hot chocolate if I have it, which I veer off as much as I can. But every once in a while, especially in the holiday season, I will break that fast. Anyway, I like it. I like sitting at night and relaxing and looking at the lights on the tree and things like that. However, the darn lights aren't working. Yeah, because the little wires have pulled away from their connector, and I don't know how to fix it. Now, I remember watching my brothers and fix stereos and things like that, and so you splice them and you pull this off and that off, and I was in electronics when I was in the military, so I did do things like that. So I know how to do it, but the ones they have nowadays are so fancy. They're so fancy and so tiny, and the wires are so little that I'm 64. Think about it, right? At 64. You'd need a bloody magnifying glass in order to fix it. The wires are that thin. So what I'm going to have to do is going to have to take that whole string of lights off the tree. Now look at the tree. This is the tiny tree. Okay, can you see that? You see that? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I have to basically unwind the lights. And it's one of those self-twinkling trees or whatever where the lights are already on it. So I have to unwind them, and I have to go get a set of the small little twinklers and put it back on, although the tree is already decorated. So I don't really want to take it down. So what I'm going to do is I might leave it until it's time to take the trees down, and I might just add a string of lights to the tree, just so I don't have to do that, because it's a lot of work. It's just a lot of work. So I don't really want to get into that, right? So, but anyway, I have both trees up. I am going to be making homemade bread, homemade buns, right from scratch. Yeah, I'm a country girl, so I'll be making that right from scratch. Cinnamon buns, twisters like my mom used to make when I was a little girl. She made these amazing twisters, and she would put on the powdered white sugar. Okay, now I've been doing really good. I've been doing really good with my focus on my health and not eating the sugars and the trans fats and things like that. However, it's the holiday season, and I will not go a holiday season without having my homemade cinnamon buns. So I am going to make them, and I am going to give some to friends and family, neighbors, okay, people who have been really good to me through the year, and that I have kind thoughts about, okay? So neighbors, people in my building who have been wonderful neighbors. They've been wonderful neighbors. And I have some friends that are dealing with some health issues right now. And so my thoughts are with them. My prayers are with them. I will light a candle for them. And I am going to put a bulb on a tree for a specific individual in my life who is dealing with some health issues at this point in time. So things like that are really important to me. It's really, really important to me to acknowledge the kindness that I've had extended to me throughout the years, okay? It's not just that one special time, okay? And basically, you should be kind to each other all through the year, but this is that one special time where you acknowledge the effort that other people have put into their communication or into their relationship with you. Okay, acknowledging that at this one point in time. Okay, and I choose to do that. I choose to do that, and it's important to me. It's important to me, and so I'm going to be baking up a storm. I just hope I don't gain too much weight with the fact that, I'm making cinnamon buns, and that's one of my favorite holiday foods. So I have to be very, very careful with that one. So I'm going to have to package them up. I'll make little squares of them, package them up, and put them in the freezer until it's time to give them. Because if I don't, I'll be mowing down on them. They're my favorite. And I remember being a kid and my mom making them, and the house would smell that wonderful cinnamon sugar smell. I remember that. And the twisters. I mean, we would. I had 3 brothers. Yeah. Well, one brother was gone. He was in the American Navy, and so he wasn't at home a lot of the time. But I did have 3 brothers who had big appetites, right? Well, 2 brothers had big appetites. I remember the oldest brother that was at home, he could mow down on those twisters, and he could eat a bag of them all by himself, as all of us could. Yeah. So, we were the type of family, my mother would make homemade bread and things like that. And, we could sit down, we could eat a whole loaf of bread by ourselves with like homemade butter slathered on it, right? So that's where I get my appetite from. Yeah. From living, in those times when frugalness was important. And my mother could make, I'm telling you, the best homemade bread. Her and my Aunt Jackie, they made homemade bread all the time, and it was the best tasting. And there's only one person who can come a close second to them. Okay, was my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, she's now gone. She's passed. But my ex-mother-in-law, I should say, she was an amazing cook. She could make a meal out of nothing. Like, she was just like amazing. She would take, a handful of flour, right, and some yeast, and she could make 40 loaves of bread. Like, it was just unbelievable. I loved going and spending time at her place because she would cook up those eggs on that wood stove, and they always turned out perfect. Easy over, perfect. And we had homemade bread toasted on the stove, the old-fashioned way with like a grill on top of the open grate. You can't beat it. It's better than the bloody toasters they have nowadays. Trust me. And it tastes better because you're getting that flavor of the wood and things. I mean, I just thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing, and I miss it. And at Christmas time, I do think about her. I think about her, and I think about the times, the good times. New Year's. Here's a little kind of tidbit about New Year's. When I was married, and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law lived in the country, and we would go, we lived in a trailer just down the road from them, and we would go to their farm, which was kind of like the main meeting place, right, of the family. And we would go there, and at midnight on New Year's Eve, they had the hunting rifles or whatever, and they would shoot off a shot to celebrate, to bring in the new year. Yeah, so, just wonderful, wonderful memories. I mean, don't be thinking about the safety of it, because they were very conscious, very safety conscious hunters. Yeah, and, there was always a time when hunting season would come where they would bring home the venison, and I could make venison meatballs, things like that. But there was that... It was just special. The things that we celebrated, the things that we did back in the day they were special. They were very special. And they are memories that I will carry with me till I cross to the Great Divide, and meet them again on the other side. They were wonderful people. So, Christmas is a very special time for me. There are things that I remember, like when my first child was born. And she was little, she was a toddler, and we were celebrating Christmas, and we lived in the country, so we cut down our own Christmas trees. I miss that. I miss it. I remember taking her out when she was like, 1 or 2 years old, and it was nighttime, and the stars were out, and there wasn't all this light pollution and smog. It was beautiful, and the sky was just full of stars. And we went and cut our tree down in the night. We knew what tree we were going to cut down, and my ex-husband cut the tree down, and we brought it home and we set it up, and my daughter's eyes were like saucers. They were like saucers. These are the memories that I cherish. I cherish those memories. And, the truth is, I don't remember a lot of Christmases from my youth, but I do remember those special moments with my children when they were growing up. And, sneaking down the stairs. They snuck down the stairs with their father to see Santa, putting the trees or the gifts under the tree. That is a wonderful memory, and that memory was blessed by a very good friend of mine who enabled Santa to come and see our home and to help put the gifts under the tree and open his sack up and put some gifts underneath the tree for my children. So, and I have that picture. And if I can post it, I'm not sure if I can, I have to get their permission. If I can post that picture, I will, but it is a memory that I will cherish for the rest of my life, So those things, being with my best friend and going out on New Year's Eve, and toasting in the new year with the one person that stood by me through all the rough years, okay, so my best friend, and toasting in the new year with that individual and wishing them well. Those things are important to me. Just the memories. I have seen so many blessed things in my life, so many blessed things. I have seen my own children reaching fruition in their life and watching my grandchildren thrive and grow in their life. Those are important memories to me, and they will stick with me forever and ever. So I might be going through a little period of, forgetting my keys or where I put the phone book or whatever, right? I might forget those things, but those long-term memories, they're deep within me, and I will hold on to them and cherish them for the rest of my life, and then some. So today is all about memories. Today is all about what I am thankful for, and I am very thankful to even exist at this point in time, because a couple of years ago, if you were looking back about 8 years when I had my first heart attack, I'm lucky to be here. The big guy wants me around for a reason. He wants me around for a reason. And I hope that I honor that reason. So this has been a long healing journey for me. It's been 8 years plus of healing mind, body, and spirit, and getting back to a place where I feel strength. I feel that inner strength. And I wish that for all of you, through the Christmas season and into the new year. I wish that you find that inner strength that you need to correct those things in your life that perhaps have been waylaid, or that perhaps you turned away from, that were good for you. Okay? So I hope that you find that strength to continue with your journey in a healthy and a happy way. So I shall see you in the next video. The good Lord be willing.